So, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our Art Live. I'm a little bit lonely today because Eyelid doesn't want to join in. She's happy watching a DVD, so she's not here. But you will hopefully join in the fun, and we're going to do some portraiture today. So the plan today is that we're going to learn, we're not going to draw anyone in particular, we're just going to learn how to position a face basically, and position all the features and a few top tips. But other than that, it's just a really nice drawing session together. So thank you very much for joining me if you are here, and don't forget to say hi on the messages so I don't feel really lonely. So let's get started. All you need is paper today. I've got a big sheet of paper, but that's just so that you can all see what I'm doing, and a pencil. Any pencil will do. I'm using quite a soft pencil today just so that you can see what I'm doing, but any pencil will do. And as I say, we're just going to try and put the features together and the details to create a really nice portrait. And then what you could do is, once you know the distances and things like that, you could go away and try and draw a family member or a friend from a photograph or anything you like. So we're going to make a start. I hope you've got all the things ready today. And I feel like I've been online all week because I've had an extra class on Monday, which was fantastic for the coffee. And then we had a fish event. It's a lovely charity in Wyndham. And I was doing a Zoom Matisse piece for them. And then back again. I just feel like I've been at the computer. But I hope you're all having a lovely half term. And we will get started today. We'll get started nice and quick. So, paper. Any paper will do for this exercise today. It doesn't have to be anything special, whatever you've got. And as I say, just a pencil. The only other thing that you will need is a rubber or an eraser, because I'm going to show you some lines that will help guide you, like some simple shapes that we're going to build upon, but then you'll need to rub them out at the end or as you go so that you can see. So to build a really realistic face for anyone, we're just going to go through those positions. So the way we start is, or the way I start, especially when I'm teaching children, is we begin our face with a circle. Now I know, and you know, that faces are not circular. We all have different shapes. Some are heart shapes, some are square with like a broader jawline here. Some have a roundish face, some are oval and long like mine. I've got kind of a longer chin here and then a longer forehead here. So everyone has a different face shape. But what you need to do just to start you off is draw a nice circle on your paper. Now for portraiture today, please don't press hard. Okay, if you press really hard with your pencil, when you come to rub out any lines that you don't like, it's going to be really difficult to rub them out and you'll get frustrated with it. So you've got to really be nice and light with your pencil mark today. So to start us off, we're going to draw a circle. Okay, a nice round circle on our paper. I've done mine a little bit higher and leaving a little bit long. Doesn't matter really, just centrally you're going to put this nice circle. Doesn't matter if it's not exact. You can see I've had to change my lighting massively today so that you can see my pencil drawing, because otherwise I'd have had to do it in a pen and that would have been a nightmare. So, hey Emma. Nice to have you. And hi Christine. You'll love this today. I'm going to say it's a really good way of building up. But when I draw, I was saying to Sheree today, when I draw from life, I don't start with the face shape. I usually start with the eyes. But when we're trying to get things in proportion and looking at distances between the features, it's a really good way of building up a face so that you know. So it's a good exercise, this is, for anyone doing portraiture. So I've started with a circle. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add the chin at the bottom. Okay, so we're kind of going to get rid of this line in a minute. We've got this nice shape here at the top for the head, and then we can change the face shape. Now we've got that as a structure, we can change the face shape. So I might put, for example, I might straighten it here a little bit and bring it down into a jawline, and then the chin is going to go underneath. Now, depending on the person, depends on the size of the chin. I've got quite a wide chin there. Some people have a little pointy chin, so you have to adapt it. But however you want this to be today, I'm just going to straighten it off there. It's very hard to do on my easel, so and on my pencil breaks as well. And then I'm going to put this chin in. Men tend to have a stronger jawline, or boys and children tend to have a rounder face, and then it changes later as they grow older. But we're just going to adapt this circle. So the circle is just a starting shape to get us started. And now I'm kind of making my face shape how I want it to be. Oh, hi Arthur, and hello Sarah as well. So as you can see, I'm now getting rid of those lines. This is why the rubber is really important, and it's also why it's really important not to press hard. I know that's really difficult because we're, especially children out there, we like to draw quite confidently, and that's fab. But when we come to wanting to rub lines out, if we've pressed really hard, it doesn't work. So you can already see that from my circle, I've just shaved a little inner bit here, and I've lengthened the chin. The chin is at the bottom of that circle. It doesn't come in here, it's at the bottom of the circle. So I'm just tidying up my shape now with my rubber. So this is the first stage. And as I said, lots of people have different face shapes. You'll start looking at people and going, ooh, have they got a square face? Have they got a heart shape? A heart shape is when you have quite a pointy chin at the bottom and your hairline kind of starts in a V and it goes back like that. Mine doesn't do that. Mine is quite flat like that. And then mine's a long, I've got a long face, and goes to a wider point at the bottom. So everyone's is different. You could always use a mirror as well and have a look at your own face and see what it looks like. So I'm not drawing anyone in particular today. I'm just drawing whoever, just getting those features and everything in there. Okay, so there's my face shape. Hope you can all see that. Okay, now the eyes. Okay, we're going to make some marks on our paper now, but please again, just remember, I'm going to say this every time. Please remember to do this really lightly so that you can rub it out. Now your eyes, strangely enough, are halfway down your head. Okay, so from here, the top, all the way to here. If I close my mouth, it makes it easier. My eyes are halfway, and that's really important. Children, when they first start drawing, tend to draw the eyes up here on the top of the head, and then they have the hair sitting right on the top like that. Our faces aren't like that in real life. Our faces have our eyes sitting halfway down the head, and your ear, if I turn, almost is just above that line. So your ear starts just above your eye line there. So your eyes are just halfway, and that's the first line we're going to put in. So we're going to have a little look from the top to the bottom, and we're going to go about halfway. Now it will feel really odd, I know, and you'll be tempted to push it up. Don't. Keep it half. So we're going to go here for our eyes. I'm just putting in a faint line look that I will be able to rub out. Can you see that line just about? So halfway down. That's where the eyes are going to sit. And then the next line that we're going to place is the bottom of the nose. Okay. And this, if we look at my face, I keep looking at myself doing this, but it is actually really helpful. So grab a mirror. It's really, really helpful. So my eyes are halfway. And then you've got another kind of halfway is your nose between these two. And then your lips sit, depending on how much chin you've got. And again, this just depends on whether you're a child or whether you're a woman or whether you're a man. This will give you, these distances here make the person look like who you're drawing. So we need to put another line in for the nose. So if you want your person that you're drawing today to have a really, really, really long nose, then you need to bring it down quite far. Children, you tend to have a shorter nose. I'm going to put mine in about here, so quite low. I might even move that a bit lower as I go. And then the lips, again, it all depends on that distance. It's all checking the distances. I'm sure Leonardo Da Vinci, he's a famous artist, this is for the adults listening out there, I'm sure that when I was at college, I was taught that his Mona Lisa, that famous piece of artwork, all the distances that he did on the Mona Lisa measure up to the same calculation, because he was a mathematician as well, and he was a scientist, and he was an amazing artist. And the Mona Lisa is supposed to be quite mathematical in the face, very symmetrical, and it's because all the distances, like the distance from the nose to the lip, are all supposed to measure or calculate to the exact same number. Little fact there. So putting the nose in, and then the mouth is just a little bit under that. So I've got 3 lines. Halfway down is my eyes, that's the important one. My nose and my mouth. Now, if you want to, you could also put a line center of the face all the way down to help you, but you don't have to do that. The reason we do that as artists and put this center line is because that line changes depending on where the person is looking. So if I'm looking straight at you like this, the line is here. But if I hold this line, my finger, and move my head, the line is now over here, and you can see the back of my head here. So those lines are really important for, you know, if you want to challenge yourself, if you move that center line, that's where you are looking. Okay, so if we draw it right in the center of the paper like this, then it's straightforward. If we move it, it will make the head turn. So there's my lines in place. Now we're going to draw an eye, but we're going to put it right in the middle of our paper, because your eyes, the distance in between is an eye measurement. So if we draw the eye in the middle, nice and centrally, and then draw 2 eyes either side of it, we can rub that middle eye out, but that gives you the exact proportions of the eye. So I'm going to draw one in here. Now, eyes aren't round. If you look at mine, they're almost like a teardrop or a oval shape. They're not round like Harry Potter glasses. So we're going to put one in the middle. Now, I know this is weird, but it will really help you. Pop one centrally in the middle here, like that. So we've got a cyclops. Now, that same size, we can now draw one on the right-hand side. Like that. And we can draw one on the other side, like that. Try and keep the eyes approximately the same size. Okay, so weirdly, we've got 3 eyes there. But we can rub now this center bit out because we did it nice and lightly. So we can get rid of that middle eye. Like so. We can even take the line out, that guideline as well. That can come out. Ooh. So now we've got an eye here. Just make it a bit darker. And another one here. And we know that it's the right distance because we've got an eye sized gap in between. So there we go, we're starting to build up our picture. Now mine's looking a little bit alien at the minute. I think we need to add some some irises, some eye colour areas, and the pupil, the bit in the middle. Now again, if you use your own eye as an example, you can't see a full circle of colour in my eye. So we're not going to draw a full round circle that can be seen. We're going to do it so that you can only see part of the circle. So there's one, and we can do the same on the other side. Again, depending where you're wanting your person to look today. Got two eyes like that, and you can always move that circle in the middle there. You can move it over that way so that they're looking that way, or you can go that way, up or down, but I'm going to make it look straight at you. And then the pupil, now it depends on the light, but we will just draw a nice pupil. You can leave a little highlight dot if you want to make it a little bit more realistic. I'll show you what I mean if I bring it forward. Just a little dot there. In the centre, I've just left it white paper, and then try and put it in exactly the same position on this side as well. Keeping that highlight in at the same side as if the light is over here. Okay, so far I'm hoping that if you were drawing your portraits, so this is what I see when I teach children sometimes. We get a round face with no chin. We sometimes get round eyes. This is how Eyla started drawing portraits to start with. Round eyes, sometimes round coloured bits. We might have a few eyelashes. We might have hair on the top. Okay, we're trying to be a bit more realistic today. So we're moving away from the cartoon version into a slightly more realistic version. So once you've done that and everyone's happy, I'm going to show you how to do a nose, because noses are really, really tricky. They're hard to do. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So we start, again, these are going to be the lines we rub out. So we start with an oval shape so that it crosses that central point. I know that looks strange to start with, but we will develop it into something amazing. Then we're going to put two little round balls on the sides, just a bit higher, so sitting on the line. Okay, that's the start of my nose, like that. Then what we can do is, those lines are just our guide again. So then what we can do with our nose is we can shape it and bring it round, and we can get rid of those lines. I've done mine quite dark actually. I need to kind of get rid of those original lines of our shape. Everyone must be really focused today, because I'm not having any messages whatsoever. You're working really hard. And then we've got this automatic nose shape. I'm just going to bring mine round. And this is just a simple, yeah, thanks, Trace. Oh, David, it made me wobble. It made me have a wobbly line. So this is just a very simple way of doing a nose. Everyone's noses are different, but if you just want to get a nice basic shape of a nose, that is how you go about it. Okay, so hopefully that's a little step on from what you might have been doing before. I'm just going to bring that, make it a little bit symmetrical. So I'll show you that just once more. So with the nose, you can do lots of practices. Draw a round oval shape, 2 circles either side of about the same shape, same size, and then we can lift that line up, and if I press really hard, we've got this lovely shape for a nose, and we can rub out those other bits, and we've got this lovely nose. Like that. Okay, so what we want to do now, I'm not going to do the bridge of the nose, because if you look at your own or look at mine, you can see one side is really light, you can hardly see a line at all, and then this side is really dark, and I'm going to do some shading with you today so you can see that will kind of come about in a bit. But I'm going to start putting the mouth in now. So we have this central bit, and anyone very clever can tell me what that is. Oh, hi Karen. Oh, thank you for saying hi. It's nice to know people are here. I can see there's 20 people, but I don't know who's around. It's nice that you say hi. So I'm going to start my lips, and depending on the person, again, depends whether they have a short upper lip or a long upper lip. So you can change that and change your character or your person by lifting or lowering that lip there. So I'm going to put that little bit in. I'm going to do a dip, and again, some people have a really big dip, bit that comes down and up, and some people have hardly one at all. And then I'm going to bring this bottom lip, top lip here, like that. Hi Liz, thank you. Thank you for saying hi. Okay, so there's my top lip. Now it's trying to think how wide your mouth goes, okay? So if you were to grab your pencil, and if you have got a mirror, brilliant, or if you have your phone in front of you, or if you're just looking at me, if you look at the corner of my mouth and get your pencil, I can't do it straight because of the mirror image on Facebook, it cuts kind of the edge of my, if I go straight line pen, I know it's like this, sorry. She's laughing her head off at me, so I'm like this. It's a mirror image on here. That's why me and Isla always get confused with our hands. So, like this. And you need to just see where that line comes. So I've done my lips actually a little bit too wide. I need to make them narrow. We've got the giggles in the studio now. I'm going to narrow.
I can see you on the phone and in front of me.
Just like, oh dear. So I'm making mine a little bit narrower. It's completely up to you. But it's about checking. That's all Portraiture is about, is checking all your distances constantly. Okay, so now with the lip, I'm going to put in the bottom lip. Normally, the corners of the mouth are quite thin, and then you get a big bottom lip. Some people have a thin bottom lip. So again, it depends on the person you're drawing today, or whether you're just making up. I'm going to do quite a full bottom lip, keeping it as symmetrical as possible. And there we go. And you can tilt that up a little bit if you want them to look happy, or you can tilt it down if you want them to look sad. Okay, so there we go. A lip, a nose, the eyes, and a very massive bit of the head, because we've got halfway above, but that's exactly what we need. Right, we're going to move on to a little bit of detail now. If you want, you can rub out any lines that you don't like, or any lines that you were just guidance. Like this. Let's get rid of those guidelines now that we had, and any lines that you think, oh, I don't want those. And what we're going to do is we're going to start adding some detail onto our eyes. So we're going to start with an eyelid. Eyelids is a line just above the eye here. It's like a crease in the eye. So we're going to pop that in. We can put some eyelashes and things, but most people don't have eyelashes that go up and out. My eyelashes certainly don't. I wish they did. They actually come across, so I'll show you what I mean. So they don't have sticks that are going up. They actually cross the eye, getting smaller hairs as you get to the front and the little point of the eye, near the nose, and longer hairs as you get outwards. Eyelashes. So another little trick to some realistic portraits is, if we don't want it to look like a cartoon with eyelashes up like that, we draw those eyelashes straight over, and we do that the other side as well. So longer ones cutting through the eye. I know that might feel a bit weird. We can also put that little where you have the pink corner. I wish I was a scientist and knew all the terminology.
Tear-duct area.
Yeah, the tear duct area. I have no idea what these bits, I know the iris and the pupil, but I have no idea what these specific bits are called. And what you need to think with those bits is you're drawing so that you can see the eyeball shape. So rather than going like a C shape there, we're doing it so that it's as if the eyeball is coming round into the eye. Even do that a little bit on the other side, make it a bit darker. It's a bit fancy. So we're building our portrait slowly. So I've just done the corner bits, and then we need some eyelashes on the bottom, and those do come off the eye and out, but they get smaller as we get into the corner of the eye here, and they're a little bit longer on the outside. These are all just details that you can have a go at if you want to and play around with them. Okay, if you want to challenge yourself as well, you could always very lightly shade. Oh, my computer's beeping at me. You can just do a bit of a lighter colour in the centre of the eye here, where the colour would be, where your iris is. I've got green eyes, but I'm just doing them grey. And I'm just using a lighter, putting less pressure on the paper for a bit of shading here, which you can do too if you want to. So we've got that so far. Okay, now we're going to come to the eyebrows. Now the eyebrows, actually the bone structure joins up with your nose. So move my hair out of the way. You've got the bone of your brow line where your eye socket is, and it comes up from your nose. So use that as a kind of guide. So where your nose straight up where it would be is about where your eyebrow would be. And don't draw caterpillars. Avoid a caterpillar shape, unless you want it to look really cartoony. Try and draw it as hair, like we were with the eyelashes. Try and draw it as if it is hair. So I'm kind of using little marks.
Oh, Louise is on.
Oh, hello, Louise. I've just seen you. Oh, it's not. You'll have to. I know you're moving, but you have to. You have to do the Facebook things while I'm still doing them, and see me on here, and say hello, because it's lovely to hear from you. Okay, so I'm just using my pencil mark, and I'm bringing it all the way past, in a diagonal, past my eye line. It's not right there. My eyebrow doesn't finish at my eye. It comes all the way out like that.
You're supposed to join your edge of your nose to your eye, to your eyebrow.
How are you?
Yeah.
Are you? What, if you went and had like eyebrow
Yeah.
plucking?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. Mine are just generally like untamed. Okay, so we're going to do the same the other side. So using little hair marks of our lifting in a little bit of an arch, but not too much. We don't want her to look, or him to look like a clown. And then bringing it all the way out to that corner. Thinking about which direction hair grows as well.
So it goes directly up and then turns.
Yeah, kind of up and turns, doesn't it? You can be really precise and play with this as much as you like with all the hair and everything. I drew my boyfriend Will the other day, and it looks absolutely nothing like him, does it? It's quite funny. Me and Isla have been practicing. Isla drew Ava, and that looked awesome. Okay, so my eyebrows. There we go. All right. Now, I'm going to keep her quite young. I'm not going to put a load of wrinkles on her. I might do. I might just put a little. We all tend to have a little bit of dark under our eyes here, so I might just pop that in a little bit, but not much. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to move back to the nose here. And on one side, I want you just to choose which side. If you've drawn the highlight of the eye on one side, you want to go to the opposite side now to do your shading. If you have no idea what I mean, just copy what I'm doing. But basically, if your source of light is up here, light, okay, then we're going to have a highlight on this side of the face, and that puts this side of the face into shadow. If you've got your light coming from this side, that will give a highlight on this side of the face, and this side of the face will be shadow. Okay, so it depends how you're doing it. Now I put a little highlight in the eye from this side. So my shadow now is going to be on this side of the face. Now shading and shadows can be very scary to do, but just go for it, because it will look amazing when it's done. I'm going to use my pencil a little bit flatter this time. So I'm not going to use it at a point like this. I'm changing how I'm holding it completely like this. Okay, so I put my hand over the top, and then I'm just going to bring very gently where that nose would go. I'm not drawing a harsh line of a nose bridge. I'm just drawing some shadow all the way down to my nose here. And that actually is going to go under this eyebrow as well. Because this side of my face is in shadow. Okay. I'm going to bring a bit closer. So already we can see a little bit of the nose's bridge without actually drawing a straight harsh line in there. It's just a soft line. You can darken it if you want to. You can shape it slightly if you want to. And that is the shadow of one side. Now the other side, I might just put a very, very faint line, just tickle the paper, but you won't really see it, look. I don't think you can see it at all. Go a little bit darker. So it comes from the eyebrow down the paper to the edge of my nose there. So this is the bridge of the nose. Okay. Very faint line. So I've got my shadow making the bridge on one side and then a highlight on the other. Okay, the last thing we're going to do is just make these lips a little bit better. So we're going to shade in this top side. Oh, hello Sophia and Georgia. You're doing your face. Oh, fantastic. So we're on the shading at the moment, and it's just a case of thinking about where the light is. So I'm keeping one side a little bit darker and one side a little bit lighter. So just showing that the lips are a colour and not the same colour as my face. Okay, so I've just shaded those in a little bit, a bit darker on one side and a bit lighter on the other. Now at this point, it's completely up to you. You can start to change the head shape if you want to, because if you look, mine is quite wide. So I could definitely do with narrowing it. So this, again, it's good to go back to your line. I'm just going to change my face shape here a little bit and just narrow it even more. But the thing is, it doesn't really matter because I'm about to put the hair on. So what we're going to do is get some hair on. Now, the best way to do hair is to mix up dark lines, light lines, heavier lines, thicker lines, and finer lines to get hair. Now, if you're doing a boy's day, that's not a problem. Just have a little look at where your hairline sits on your head, okay? So it might be that it sits right down here. You might have quite a short forehead. So your hairline, if I do it very gently, might start here and you're going to build up your hair from that side. It might be that you're doing a girl like me with a fringe, in which case think about where the fringe starts. It doesn't start on the top of my head because I can see the back of my head is up here. So my fringe actually starts a little bit lower. So the other thing with hair is thinking about parting. Mine tends to be straight in the middle actually. That's where my fringe flops. And drawing the hair from that bit as well. So lots to think about with hair. Start by just making some marks, some nice hair marks, but we're not going to do it on the top of the head. Avoid that. We're going to start I'm going to do it as if it's my hair. I wanted to kind of do a boy version, but I think I'm just going to go for a girl. So I'm going to bring this hair round. You see how I'm building up the lines gradually, going back, just with single lines to start with. This is just one side of the hair, thinking about how the hair falls and grows. Keep going, even if it lifts over. And there we go. And then we can do the other side. Don't worry if your pencil crosses over any facial features. These are just the first marks that we're going to make for hair. flatten that out a little bit at the back. Okay, so we've got the start. This lady's got very big hair. And then also, let's pop the neck in. The neck doesn't sit in a stick like this. It almost just a bit inward from the ears. It comes from the chin almost, from the jawline and down. Let's do that a bit darker for you so you can see what I've done in comparison to the hair. And then if you want to put the ears in, although with mine you wouldn't be able to see her ears with all her hair. I'm just going to improve the shape. So you can colour, not colour it in, but kind of fill your lines a little bit. Fill your lines a little bit like this. I said I hadn't seen Nikki for ages and she's really too. And then don't forget the hair at the back that you'd see. It might come over the shoulder. I'm just filling it in really. Mine's got very bouffant. Oh, bouffant hair.
She's got volume.
Yeah, it's got volume. I like it. So you can smudge it a little bit if your pencil is soft enough. If it's not, don't worry. You can just do that. And then we can also put, if you want to, just a little bit of shading underneath where the hair is flopping. I love doing portraits. You do, just because every single time you do it, you get a different person. Like you can see them, and you can. I think mine needs a hairbrush. You can put a t-shirt on her if you want. I'm not happy with this bit. Just bring that down. And smudging it a little bit. But hopefully, yeah, I may change that. That was hard to do when it was there, when I'm facing there. But that was grand, bouffant. Big hair day today. So there's a few tips on how to do a face, and the only things that you just must remember, the only kind of two things that must stick in your head is halfway down for your eyes, not circles, and don't press too hard with your pencil so that you can adapt lines as you go. But other than that, have fun, create different ones so you can do loads of portraits, change the distances to change your characters of people, and that's it. So have lots of fun today and send me your pictures. I loved the ones last week. And have a lovely week. Enjoy the rest of your half term. Take care, everybody. Bye.